Check, baby.
Check,
baby.
check, check. Hello, friends and family. Family and friends. All right. What's up? It's Monday, and I'm back. Hopefully, you guys saw the upload I made this morning. It's a bunch of iPhone clips. It was a day or two late. I was trying to get it out this weekend, but do apologize about that. I'm still over here drinking Dr. Pepper. Maybe one day they'll sponsor these little interviews, but for now, we're just gonna have to hope for the best. Apologize for the airplane flying overhead. We got airplanes landing here in Brooklyn quite frequently. And we also have a special guest right here, Bryan Novelo.
Yo, what up?
He is a what I like to call an extreme punk rock cyclist. I mean, look at the man's shirt. I don't even know what band that is. I'm sorry. I have known Bryan for quite some time. I believe the first time I met Bryan was in San Francisco, but our circles of friends have overlapped in different areas of my life through cycling and then also through video production in the past. He comes from the same friend group as some people that I used to do video production with. So, actually, did we meet in Vegas for the first time?
Gee, I don't know. No, I think we met in San Francisco.
Okay.
Early on, but that's how I met most of those. Everyone that through our next circle of friends, I believe that brought us all together. Just quite, I don't know, it's rather round and large and interesting.
Well, today I'm going to ask Bryan a couple questions and then, like we did last week, open it up to some questions from you guys. To give you guys some context, you probably know or seen Bryan if you're a subscriber of the channel from a year or two ago. He did this Category 6 video. This is him riding here. So we're not really going to go over the, him riding or anything, but I'll leave it in the background while we're talking to kind of just, keep things visually interesting. But Bryan here, we first met in San Francisco, and at the time, I wasn't doing a lot of bike riding. I mean, I was riding, but I wasn't like putting in miles yet, really. And all I really had was a BMX and a track bike at that time. And he was like, oh, we're going to go, or I was with some other friends, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go on a ride with this guy, Bryan. We're going to do like a city loop. And I had never done anything over like 20 miles, and the city loop was more like 30 or 40. And we were on track bikes. And I just remember doing that ride and not having lights and not being prepared, didn't eat, didn't even have a water bottle or anything. And it's not really that gnarly of a ride, but if you haven't been riding, it was like an eye-opening experience for me. And Bryan is the one who led the ride, basically. And do you remember that day?
Maybe not the exact day, but I definitely just remember riding with you at some point, a bunch of friends in SF. Early on, maybe middle of track bike days of same, not being prepared, going out on city loops with no water and just your bike and shorts and a t-shirt. I think that's how we've gotten so far.
Sorry, just raising the gain on the mics. I don't know. I feel like I hear a buzz.
I hear a little buzz, but
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with a little buzz going on in here. A little buzz.
Is that better? Can you hear us? All right. So yeah, Bryan, why don't you tell us about your upbringings in cycling and where it all started? Like, first of all, like where are you from? I know you're from Vegas. Why don't you start with that?
All right. Well, I mean, I was actually born in Southern California. I grew up just riding everything from a tricycle to like a 16-inch BMX bike in front of my house until it got dark out and I had to come inside. But me and I lived on a block with a few other young kids, my age, and yeah, we would just set up little bricks and just jump off curbs like all day, like till the sun went down. I still have some of those photos. But then, yeah, I started riding then. I moved to Vegas in around like 5th grade, so like 89. I'd seen the movie Rad already quite a few times. And I was looking for, just something to do. Baseball, football, those organized sports weren't really appealing to me. I was on a skateboard or wanting to ride my bike. So about that time, there was a sign up for BMX racing in the mall. And I was hooked. I signed up, just thought about the movie Rad every single day that I'd grown up since then. And then, my mom took me out to the BMX track, like 5th, 6th grade, I think, for the first time. And I was hooked. I rode bikes all the way through high school till my senior year. Lost touch with bikes a little bit during my early 20s. And then they found me again somehow, and I've never looked back.
What got you back into the bikes after that long break?
Honestly, transportation at first. I was having to commute to work, and I didn't have a car at the time. I spent a lot of my teens like traveling. So yeah, I didn't need a car, and someone had donated a bike at the record store that I used to frequent, and it's like a steel Schwinn Paramount like road bike, like had clipless pedals.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was such a come up, and
yeah.
I put that together, and just started riding, commuting to work, saving up to eventually buy a car. And then I think 2 years had gone by, and I was like, I don't need a car, man. Like, I'm just gonna.
Where was this? What city was this?
This was in Vegas, so this was also like.
No car in Vegas. I can't.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's a little different than like metropolitan city life.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I ended up getting more and more bikes and just fell deeper in love with it again through road bikes, and got really big into the track bike scene. And
when did you start riding track bikes? What made the transition from riding that Schwinn into riding fixed gear?
I think just the simplicity of it. I just wanted something really simple. I wasn't really going very far at the time, just commuting, and just looked better, I thought, at the time as well. Doing, everything, yeah, just simple and whatnot. But I had first ridden one in my early BMX years, and then again later in life, and never really fell in love with it then. And then, I don't know, it kind of boomed off in like early 2000s, and I was hooked.
Yeah. Speaking of him riding track bikes, and there were a couple brands that were kind of coming up at that time, and you worked for Cadence for a quick sec, right?
Yeah, I did. I met Dustin living in San Francisco at the time. We were both just like dudes just out riding bikes and had the same interests and whatnot. Later on, I met Andrew Lowe through Dustin, and the three of us started riding quite a bit, and just trying to make things, come up with ideas, like simplicity of just everyday commuter life with fashion and function at the same time. That was definitely an experience.
Yeah, you started working. Well, you met Dustin. When did you start? Like, when did you make the jump and go like as an employee over at Cadence?
I don't remember the exact date or anything like that, but it was towards the end of my days in San Francisco. I was getting actually ready to move here to New York, and Dustin had offered me a job working for Cadence. They were opening up a shop in Hermosa Beach, rather, Southern California, and they just wanted me to run the store. So I ran that for as long as it stuck around for, and then I ended up moving back to Vegas after that.
How was the cycling community in Hermosa Beach, like when you were there?
I mean, it was me.
I was the community.
Yeah, there wasn't much. I met some good people in the surrounding areas that would come down to the shop, and we'd do like morning rides. But you didn't see very many just hip like people on like track bikes or riding around. It wasn't like a thing. Everyone was super lycra'd out, and if you know me at all, like I'm the guy who rides in cutoffs and a sleeveless shirt, and I'm not really trying to wear my underwear like on the outside most of the time. So
we've gone on longer road rides, and this guy will be wearing just denim, denim and t-shirts, on some cold days too, some cold occasions. He's wearing shorts right now, and it's pretty cold outside.
I mean, your legs warm up. It feels good. I like catching that breeze up and through my thighs and legs. It feels good.
What else? What brought you to New York from? You were in SF when I met you. Then you moved to LA for Cadence. What made you come to New York, and when did you get to New York?
Got to New York 2 years ago now. Just a place that I always wanted to live and discover and enjoy, like city life and everything around it. Definitely wanted to move here and just ride my bike along the East Coast. I had ridden so much of it on the West Coast that coming here and just discovering all the road rides like up further north and all the connecting states and trains and gravel and everything beauty about mountain towns and whatnot. It's just pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Do you have, like, what bikes do you own? Are you just riding your track bike on all this stuff, or?
No, I have a road bike. I have a mountain bike that's kind of like my gravel off-road adventure bike at the moment. Got the track bike and BMX bike, which doesn't see very much of the life these days. But I mean, it's hard to get rid of something that you first fell in love with.
Yeah. Do you where was I going with this? I feel like I'm getting contact cigarette high from you.
By the way, I don't smoke cigarettes. It's not what this is. Yeah. I don't understand the whole smoking cigarettes and riding bikes thing. It's like, I think it's like a messenger culture thing, but I'm not for cigarettes.
Oh, okay. So, Bryan, you just got back from a pretty extensive bike packing trip to Greece with a bunch of other guys, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that and like who you went with and a little bit about the trip?
Yeah. Let's see. I went with 6 other bike mechanics, I should say, who all live in Brooklyn, who I met through actually you and some mutual friends. We went to Athens, flew into Athens, met some friends over at Vicious Cycles and Spray Bike, and they just showed us around like it was their hometown. Like did a pretty cool Halloween ride with them, storming the streets of Athens. But our main objective was to ride to the island, the second biggest island in. Doesn't even make sense what I just said. An island in Greece even called Evia. We had planned somewhat of a semi-route, mostly all gravel, to try and cover the entire proximity of Evia. And we had heard mixed reviews about riding bikes up there and whatnot, but we took our chances. We did a little glamping, so we booked hotels and Airbnbs along the way. But we rode about maybe 40 to 60 miles a day, like gravel. It's fucking amazing.
That's mellow.
Yeah.
How were those gravel roads? Was it really pitchy, like steep and loose, or was it like what? Can you describe kind of?
I believe it was all mixed terrain.
Cool.
We had some really long steep hills, some really loose gravel downhills. It was just great. We didn't really know what to expect. We didn't know really any other cyclists that have gone out there. So we just Google mapped it and hoped for the best that we could make it through. Like we used Google Walking Maps most of the time.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you have to use it when you're in Japan, either car or walking. So what was the how big was the crew on this trip again? Like how many people were on bikes?
There were 7 of us on bikes.
So there's seven people. What kind of bikes were you guys on? Like were you guys all on like mountain bikes or like touring kind of cross bikes or
like touring cross bikes pretty much. Yeah, there's a few like straight bars, you know, some drops, mixed terrain. Some people had some panniers. You know, I had a front rack on mine. But yeah, you didn't really want to have too much going on because we did do some pretty intense like gravel climbing through mixed, you know, terrain, and that's kind of hard when you got shit just locked to your bike.
What are there any highlights from the trip? Like, I know that you're a practicing vegan, so how was I always like to ask how the food was, and especially once you get like away from cities, like how the experience was. Did you feel like the food was really good?
I had mixed feelings about it, but the food that I was able to eat and that was available to me, that people, it seemed like they really cared about what they cooked, was usually pretty amazing.
It's all fresh, like
yeah. I had a lot of fresh tomatoes and cucumbers and you know, lots of
So
potatoes.
so good.
But yeah, I didn't have a terrible experience with it. But I know with traveling and having a strict diet with, especially with 6 other people who are not on that same diet with you, you're kind of the outcast of the dinner table, and I don't usually try to make a big deal out of it. I don't want to, I just don't want to be that person. I have my own reasons for what I'm doing. But yeah, it was great. Everything highlighted about that trip was fantastic.
What did you guys do after the tour? Did you go into the city and like hang out? Because you said on Halloween you like did that. Like, was it a one-way trip? Was it like a one-way and back, like a round trip?
No, it was a round trip. We started in Athens. I had gone there. I was there a week prior to everyone, just hanging out and scoping, doing my own, romantic traveling solo style. And then everyone else met me there, and we stuck around for a few days, trying to ask some of the locals what they thought of what we were doing. And most just positive vibes. We went out there just feeling great, and we did sort of a loop around it. We took a ferry back into Athens on Halloween, and it happened to rain on that day as well. So we rode back in the rain, which wasn't a bad thing. It was actually kind of a nice way to end it. And then we went out that night for Halloween and celebrated with the probably 10 other people that like to celebrate Halloween in Greece.
Yeah. No one. So Halloween isn't like a celebrated.
No, it's
holiday.
not, and it's my favorite. One of my favorite days of the year. So. You
spooky.
Last year, you and I, we had that spooky cabin weekend.
Oh, that's right. Last year we got together with some other friends and we rented a cabin and went to the world's scariest hay bale. What was it? Hay bale ride? Not hay bale ride. That's not what it's called.
Haunted hayride.
Haunted hayride,
Yeah.
and it was upstate New York, and it was actually really good, really really good. People were like jumping out, running after you with chainsaws, and like someone came over on a zip line with a chainsaw like over your head swinging, and like things like cop cars were exploding. It was cool.
Yeah.
There were pyrotechnics and just lots of scares, and you're kind of on a hay bale on a path and like going through all these like little scenes and sets. It feels a lot like if you ever been to like Universal Studios and you go on the like little tram and things are happening all around you. Same kind of vibe, but spooky. Very spooky.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, now that you're back, and the weather is starting to turn, do you have any plans for riding or cycling or life or,
Oh man, I mean, I think cycling's still going to continue. It's still my way of commuting. I enjoy running as well. I think that's a good winter activity. So
How long have you been running? I know that that's a common. It's a common thing for cyclists, especially to jump over and start doing.
yeah, it is. I actually started. I started running around the same time. I actually got like super into cycling. Like when I got my first track bike, like I was running at the time. It's been what, like 15-ish years, if not a little bit more. So.
Oh, I didn't know you've been running for so long.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. I mean, nothing crazy, but it's, I feel like I get the same sort of emotion and that sense of just like whatever you're feeling when you're riding your bike out there. Like I get that same sensation
When you're riding? Or
yeah,
when you're running?
when I'm running. Yeah, it's just everything's going through your body and you just like loving life.
Do you have any goals with that? Are you trying to get faster, stronger? Are you trying to
Well, I mean,
like do a triathlon or something? Like,
no, I don't take it that seriously. Like I would like to just run for a consecutive, pull some Forrest Gump shit and just keep going. I mean, that's how I feel when I'm out there. You just keep going, man. Sometimes you're just like, why even stop?
yeah.
So, yeah, I have personal goals, but I don't know like how far or whatnot. They're just gonna keep going.
That's cool.
It's the same with riding a bike. I don't, I'm not out there to be the quickest or the fastest I'm just out there doing my thing, traveling and
Yeah.
riding a bike for the entertainment of riding a bike and that just romance that you have with it, like in the city, in the woods, and wherever. It's like that constant pedal, that constant cadence of just euphoria.
Do you have any plans with Jaime and crew to go to ride upstate this Sunday? I know we all used to ride. Was it? I guess it was more of a summer thing, fall thing. But now that it's getting colder, I don't know if everyone's still gonna ride. But I know that he plans like these rides every Sunday. Are you still looking to do some of those, or are those kind of done for the?
No, those are still happening. I've been a little bit busy since I got back from Greece, so I haven't had the chance to go out on Sunday. But yeah, I'm sure something will happen. If you want to put him on the spotlight, there's a little cyclocross event going on at Rainy Park in a couple of weeks, and
He's training for Rainy? Is he gonna race?
him, Amelia, and our boy Alex are all signed up.
Nice. Alex, ATB Media?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
so
That's sweet.
They insisted that I sign up for it, but I'm not really into racing, and I think just cyclocross is pure suffering for no reason.
I agree.
But I will be out there cheering them on, definitely giving everyone a hard time and just making them try and laugh while they suffer. So yeah, it's a good time.
For those of you who don't know, Rainy Cross is I think it's the only legit cross race in New York City. Not only do everyone on the East Coast who race cross suffer twice a week or twice a weekend. I think the races are Saturdays and Sundays, but also there's not a lot of races in the New York area, and there's a lot of travel involved, so these people are crazy. So Rainy Cross is a way to race locally. It's one of the only ones, so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I don't even know the date.
It's I think it's 2 Saturdays from now. So
2 Saturdays from now.
Yeah. What? So mark it down on a calendar. We'll get our bells and
let me look it up. The 30th, does that sound familiar? Right after Thanksgiving? I'm gonna look it up for everybody.
I don't know. It could be this weekend coming up, to be honest.
Rainy Cross.
Try it. Is there a fan going?
Wait,
What's going on?
No, dude, it's coming up, man. It's on the 23rd.
23rd. So what is that? That's
Yeah.
that's this weekend.
Yeah.
Today's-
Rainy Cross is this weekend. So if anybody's watching from the New York area, Jersey, even Pennsylvania, if you guys feel like traveling, come out to Rainy Cross and yell at some people. I'll be there yelling at some people, hyping them up, hopefully.
Yeah. Bring all your friends. It's a family event, so.
What does that mean? It's a family event, so keep it chill. Keep it chill.
What else? What else you got going on? What's going on?
Anything else you wanna put on the map, talk about while we're here, or
I don't know.
before I open it up to questions from the however many people are watching us back at 48 people.
Oh yeah, 48. Nice. That's good. Good number. No, I'm good. I'm fucking tired of talking about myself. Like,
I mean, that's what this is. You came on here so we can
feel like it's me
talk
going.
about yourself. Yeah. I will say I know I said we're not gonna break down this category 6 video. I popped it back up here one more time, but I really liked filming this with you, and I like the fact that we started in the top of Central Park on the dirt, and then cut in, and then took Central Park West. I just thought I've always wanted to do film on dirt with someone, and then like go onto the street. So I think this is one of the first, if not the only one that I've done so far, and it just everything's working with it. I think it looks good. And then for those of you who don't know or haven't seen this video, this was supposed to just be a hotline down Central Park West, and then we were just going to film until the camera died, which we ended up doing. But as we were going down Central Park West, a random commuter was in front of Bryan and saw that he was like trying to pass him. And so the commuter was like, "No, you're not passing me." And it became like a street race. Pretty funny. So
Yeah.
I'll leave that on screen for a little bit so you can see it. I'll point it out when the guy actually sees him. But that was not supposed to happen. That was not part of the thing.
Well, I think you had a little bit of encouragement in there, from what I understand.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I think you mention you egged him on. There he is. He was cool. He was cool. No, he was cool with me passing him. Well, he blew through that light, and that's why I rode up to him, and I was like,
he checked out Bryan's bike and then was just like, "Nah, dude. Nah, dude.
Whatever." He was a chiller. I was into it, and then you encouraged him to race me, and that's where I lost my judgment. I mean, or even if I just wasn't into it. I don't know this guy. I don't know where he's going. Like, I don't know how he rides. Like, I'm not gonna ride behind him in traffic and expect my everything to be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
So it turned into a little street race. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, we ended up going back and forth. Like, however, I kept pretty much my same stride going, and he sped up and pulling ridiculous moves, like in front of it's coming up, but with these ladies crossing the street up too far, and this.
Oh yeah, you ran into the. You ran into that barrier right there, which was pretty funny.
I was sick of riding behind that guy, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go my own route, and he blew through that, and that's what startled those ladies to begin with, and
yeah, those ladies were mad at us, and we're like, why? What?
Yeah, and
we're
then
not even next to you.
all of that chaos that he did to just chill when I'm still going my same stride, and we end up passing each other in the end. So it was kind of a fun thing. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah. And he's going to pass you again.
That's when you egged him on. Now he's like, I'm going to race this guy. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, whatever.
We got to film something soon when the weather gets better.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on and chatting for a little bit. I'm going to open up the questions to people here on the live chat and see what people have to say.
What is there actually people saying?
Yeah, there's a couple questions. I mean, there's a question Jaime's saying, way to put me in the spotlight, dude. So Jaime's there checking us out. What's up? How are you?
Yeah.
You better be, getting on that bike and training for this Saturday.
Oh, he's training all right. I'm his coach.
And Griffin Coleman wants to know what handlebars you're running.
Oh, I don't even know what they're called. They're just some random bars that I came across one day, and I really enjoyed riding upright from that point on. And yeah, it's a second pair from the video that you see here. That pair broke at the stem. They just kind of snapped in half.
That's sketchy. That's so sketchy.
They're like $20 handlebars. Like, it was really random when I went to go replace them in the spot. Like, this just bike kitchen spot just happened to have one pair sitting in there in the city, and I swooped them up that day, and yeah. Perfect. But I enjoy the sweatback bars. If anybody's been on a track bike for a certain amount of time, leaning over in drops is not the most comforting thing to commute on every single day of your life.
Yeah.
I'm old, man. My back starts to hurt, certain times.
Yeah, you don't want to be all hunched forward. I mean, that's how I prefer to ride, but I'm a bigger guy. I'd rather be a little more aero because my shoulders are so fucking wide.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for my bars.
Dimitri wants to know what you got me for Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah, because he heard about the White Elephant Party and that you're not coming.
Yeah.
So did you get me something for Christmas?
No, I'm not.
He said so.
No, sorry. I don't do Christmas.
Brian doesn't do Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's Jewish. Ben Eagle wants to know where you got the Samson. Because it is a beautiful bike. It's right behind him, right over there. Scoot over a little bit. Look at that. Here, I'll focus for a sec. Oh, yeah.
You in there? Well, I got it off eBay. I broke my last frame that I had made for me. The dropouts came undone, and I needed a bike right away because I was commuting on it. And I popped on eBay, looked for a few days, and saw that Samson. It's the nicest thing for the most decent price. I wasn't really stoked on the blue with the sparkles when I first.
What?
Yeah, me in color, I wear I'm all black type of guy, and so to have such a bike with bling to it, but I don't regret it. I've had it every day. Let's see, I've had it for maybe 4 years now. I think that's how long I've been riding it, and just keeps going, man. Everything on it's legit.
Yeah, it's a sick bike. Sick bike. Yeah, everyone's agreeing. Great bike. Great bike. Well, the only other question, I had another question up here somewhere. What did he say? Oh, Zyphopagus, dude. Thank you for the $5 stream donation. Next time, throw a big question in there or something so I can read it right away. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Brian does too. We just bought snacks with that $5 before you even sent it our way. So,
oh shit, they paid for it?
We do appreciate that.
Dude, thank you for the coffee and peanuts. The snacks to live by.
So, Greenway Studio. Wait, actually, Phi-R wants to know if we know how to go backwards.
Know how to go backwards?
That's the question.
On a bicycle?
I don't know. I can go backwards on a bicycle. I can also walk backwards. What about you?
No, I don't like to go backwards, man. I'm a forward
thinking kind of guy.
Forward only. Yeah.
Greenway Studios wants to know your favorite tattoo.
Favorite tattoo?
Yeah, I think people can see your tattoos, and that's what's going on here.
Well, I'll go. I got a new one when I was in Greece.
Oh, what is it?
It says Siu Katsu. Probably, most likely pronouncing that wrong. But
Is it like the same as someone getting like a Chinese marking and not knowing what it means?
no, no, no. It's just it's just like a term, a saying. Kind of the motto of the trip. The first few days in being with you got when you got 7 people, there's 7 different types of riders, 7 different personalities. I'd never really ridden with any of them before, and I don't think that any of them are really ridden far together before.
Yeah.
So the group mentality ended up was hurry up and wait is what kept going on. Like we'd have to, we had a time schedule for most of the time, and yeah, we'd get somewhere, hurry up to get there, rush, go, and then we'd end up sitting around for like an hour for everyone, or waiting for the ferry to go over. So hurry up and wait became the little ride motto, and when we got back to Athens, I wanted to go and get that tattooed. So a friend led me in the right direction, and yeah, I got Siu Katsu. It's on my wrist here. I don't know.
There it is.
You can see it. Hurry up and wait. In Greek, it kind of translates to stand up, sit down as like a term.
Stand up, sit down.
Which is, yeah, pretty much the same thing. We're riding a bike. It all kind of correlates together naturally. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good story. I forgot to ask how the group energy was, so thanks for answering that. Sunrays wants to know what kraut is.
Kraut is a New York band from the 80s. Kind of, punk, hardcore, a little on the darker side of things.
Bryan also is pretty versed in music and also movies. So if you guys have any music or movie questions, this guy knows. And I'm not talking like blockbusters. He knows he knows blockbusters, but he knows like really small budget films and things you might not have seen. He'll like quote something from it. He'll know it.
Oh, that's just my own.
He's good at it.
No, I think I don't know much about movies, to be honest. I just sat in front of a TV for a lot when I was younger, and it used to pass my time. But there are some, classics out there that I think people must see that are low budget, and yeah.
Josh wants to know steel track frame or aluminum.
Oh, I had an aluminum once. I like the steel. I have my road bike steel, my mountain bike steel, track bike steel, BMX bike steel. Like, as they say, steel is real.
I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Sunrays, we just answered that it's not bike related. It's a band. Anthony Killer, did you travel to Brazil? Say oi to us. Haven't been to Brazil. Bryan, have you been to Brazil?
No, I haven't.
We're open to going, though. I'll speak for Bryan. He's open for going to go, too.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for that business class plane ticket to be in our name. And then we're going to just jump on that plane and head on over. George loves dirt. Can I come take pics on my Cannondale? George, you can come take pics on your Cannondale, but I don't really do you have a camera and lights? Because I just have a space. You can shoot it here, but I don't really have anything to light it with. So you're welcome to come. I told you anytime. Harry, the god of speed, wants to know the Greek letters on his tattoo. Well, that was the stand up, sit down, the hurry up and wait motto that he got tattooed on his wrist.
Yeah. Zach, also another one of the crew riders, whatever you want to call it. One of the homies on the trip also got it tattooed. We had a day. I think the day when we got back from Athens, me and Zach split away from the group and went to a bunch of record stores, and yeah, we just kind of bonded, and then ended up at the tattoo shop. And
Sweet.
Zach had never gotten a tattoo in a tattoo shop. Everything he had, was like self-done. So this was his first legit tattoo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stepping it up.
Yeah, Zach was the youngest on the trip. He was I think he's a mere 21. So
I like how you said that he's a mere 21, and you also went on this trip with a guy named Amir,
yeah.
who's older than 21. Anyways, what do you do for a living? I never got to this. Actually, I never even talked about it. Good question, Ben. See, you guys are helping me with my interview here.
I mean, that's the basic questions
Yeah, it's like, what's your favorite color? What do you do for money?
Well, I work in a restaurant in the Lower East Side as a cook.
It's a really good restaurant. I think Brian's just burnt out on it, but I like to go there.
I think it's actually I could never be burnt out on that place. It's fantastic. It's a very amazing restaurant.
They change their menu like what, every day?
Yeah, we have specials. We have daily specials once a week, every day.
You gonna drop what it's called?
Yeah, you should come by. It's called Superiority Burger. It's a vegan vegetarian restaurant, Lower East Side. It's got amazing food and amazing staff. Everyone there is really into food and have it tasting good. And I've been a vegetarian probably 24 years, and on and off vegan. So being able to work in a place that makes just delicious food, simple, and have it be something I can eat and that everyone can enjoy without having any meat in it. It's amazing. I don't know if anyone's a vegetarian or if you've ever had vegetarian food. Mainly people think it's pretty bland, which half the time it is. For so long I wasn't able to have delicious food, and now it's like I work in one of the most amazing restaurants where I can make that happen. So
I will agree, as someone who has taken meat and dairy out of my diet and added it back in and gone vegetarian for a while and come back. I still eat meat now, but I can eat there and I love it. It's good. You don't need to eat meat every day or at all, really. But
yeah, and I don't want that to scare people off. It just it's
really
it's
good.
a label. If you didn't know it wasn't meat, it's a
good
you would
spot.
never know. It's just a great spot, and that's where I work. I work in a restaurant there.
You also work somewhere else, though, right?
Yeah, I work.
Why don't you
Oh man, and you guys are all gonna come visit me and just hang out. I work in a taqueria. I sling margaritas and give people good service, and those are also some friends.
I've been there before. I've seen there's a projector on the wall, and I've been there really drunk because this guy serves margaritas. He wasn't lying, and pretty good food there too. And occasionally, there's hotline videos playing on the wall there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, when you curate the music and the videos, the music and the visuals, that's it's always a good place to go and hang out, and work, and make some money.
So you guys should swing by Taqueria Diana in Williamsburg. This guy's gonna serve you some drinks. Make sure you drop him a tip, though. Let's see. How long do you plan on living in New York? That's a good question.
Undetermined. I don't know. I really do enjoy it here. I like how close it is to be able to travel to Europe and other countries. I like direct flights and whatnot. It's a little bit cheaper too than living out on the West Coast, but I don't know. I really don't know. Not leaving anytime soon, that's for sure. But there are other places I would like to live and see, and pedal each day as it goes by.
What are those other places? If you weren't in New York, where's the next best place for you?
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say Greece, because I was just there, and honestly, that place has so much cycling potential. And what the fuck is that?
We're in Brooklyn. Sorry, there's a fire truck outside. I apologize about the noise.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to live in Greece, for a while, and just ride my bike every day and get the most out of that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ever in Greece, go to Vicious Cycles. Ask for my boy Jimmy, and yeah, there it is. Great crew of people out there. I think they have
There's a cool bar there too, right?
Yeah,
Amir was telling me about the bar that's
the
there.
bike shop is connected to a bar called the Handlebar.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was legit. They have like a little crew that they have out there, which was also pretty amazing because one of Theo, who was someone that we met out there, he had a hotline sticker on his bike.
Ooh.
And he came up to me and mentioned that he had seen my Category 6 video.
Damn.
And
all the way in Greece? That's so sick.
It was, yeah, this was, we didn't even really think about like connecting with the just cycling community in Greece when we first arrived, and we connected with, we went to that bike shop, and it was just, we were all on the same page, kind of told them what we were doing, and that opened up a book to why we were there, and people just wanted to hang out and ride bikes. And met Theo, and he had the hotline sticker on. I thought that was pretty amazing. He was fully New Yorked out.
Really? What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, just if you just know the guy, he's looks like he would be from Brooklyn or something like that, but he wasn't.
So he.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
what was the question again?
That was the answer. Who cares about the question?
Yeah, live in Greece, ride bikes, go to Vicious Cycles.
Spray bike.
Spray
you
bike.
guys know Spray Bike? I think they have some affiliation with Squid Bikes. They do like spray can paint, right?
Yeah.
To paint your bike with. And I know Squid uses them a lot. Squid makes cross and track lacrosse track bike frames out of Sacramento. So check them out. You got anybody you want to shout out? You got any social medias that you want to plug? You got anyone you want to plug before we let everyone go here?
I mean, no plugs. Just thanks bicycling, man, for bringing everything together. It's all been sort of part of my life: bikes, punks, skateboarding, all of that alternative culture, counterculture stuff has led me to here. And I don't know. I'm gonna keep
right into this door, into the seat with this microphone.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing with that same shit. So, thank you to all my friends who support it and have been there, still riding bikes like you, for being around and riding bikes with me, man.
I love to ride bikes with you, Brian.
Yeah.
How about this Sunday?
You took me on my first ride when I moved here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was ride an introduction OCA on fucking carbon road wheels, riding over.
And it was snowing on top
bricks
of
and
that.
leaves. No, we did OCA.
Oh, that's right.
And we took our road bikes, which that was like the stupidest thing you could do.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And you put me through it, and opened my eyes up. So.
And then you bought a mountain bike right afterwards.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So here we are.
That's what happens. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said last week, we're going to try to do one of these a week. And if you noticed last week with Eric Otto's interview, I went back and edited out like short snippets. Probably going to do that from now on. I'll keep them on the channel for now, but I might put them somewhere else in the future. Tomorrow, we have another guest. We're going to be sitting down with Jason, who owns Affinity Cycles, and we're going to ask him about the beginnings of Affinity and the future of Affinity and how he's doing in his professional track racing career. That's what I'll say about that. Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Brian, for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and stay tuned to Terry, and I love what you do, man. Keep doing it. Hope everybody else is enjoying all of this
stuff.
It was all right.
Stuff. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Or afternoon. See ya.